Gita. This is a very long journey. We have done more than 13, 14 sessions. Still, we are on chapter 2 only. But that is the essence that we don't have to hurry because Hari is with us. One who does hurry might not get hurry. So we have to be patient because Krishna likes dhairya. Anyway, Swatha Mangalacharana. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पत्तानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतुषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूप स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य प्रभु मध्ये भालोपि यदनुग्रह तरेन्नानामदग्रह व्याप्तं सिद्धान्त सागर। जय श्री गौरंग महाप्रभु की जय। श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। श्री श्री गौरनिताई की जय। पुण्य द्वारकाधीश की जय। उपस्थित वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Thank you so much for joining. So let me share my screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 2, जिसका नाम है सांख्य योग, और we are reading from verse number 11. So just a recap to verse number 9 and 10. So Sanjay is shattering the hopes of Dhritarashtra because Dhritarashtra was very happy to hear that Arjun has laid down his weapons, and in complete lamentation he has said, "I will not fight." Suddenly, in the heart of Dhritarashtra, the hope was so much high that finally, not my son will be king. I'll remain king forever. He's a very selfish person. Huh? Even though he wanted his son to become king, but he was only sitting at the throne till the end. So Sanjay says that after Krishna, who is Rishikesha, he told Gudakesh, who is Arjun, an afflictor of enemies, he gives pain to the enemies, said something because Krishna is Govind also. So he is Govind means remover of ignorance also, and a controller of senses, remover of ignorance. What does he says? He says what he says comes in verse number 11, but the scenario is explained in this verse number 10 that Rishikesha was smiling little bit because he has been accepted by Arjun as his spiritual master. So he cannot just laugh like a friend. So he just smiled, little bit of lower lip. He tries to like press the lower lip, not to laugh very loud because it will be out of maryada to laugh at your disciple in such a way, that too in the midst of so many enemies and friends all together. So it would be very devastating for Arjun. So this is called sensitivity. Anyway, we discussed in last session. So from today, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, finally Shri Krishna, this term Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, now we'll get to know what Krishna is going to speak. And from this very verse, he'll chastise Arjun like anything. He will call Arjun a fool, but in indirect way. How? We shall see. So we'll recite. You all also can recite. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashocyan Anvashocastvam Prajnavadamscha Bhashase Gatasun Agatasumscha Nanushocanti Panditaha. My request, please memorize very important verses like this. This is the beginning of actual Samkhya Yoga. So Krishna is saying Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. That means now Shri Bhagavan. Bhagavan, we have already heard the definition of Bhagavan in the beginning of this chapter itself. Now the Srila Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. That means Ashocyan Anvashochas Tvam. Tvam means you. What is happening with you? You are Anvashochas. You are lamenting. For what? Ashocyan, which is not worthy of lamentation. And what? Prajnavadamscha bhashase. And you are speaking like a very great Pandit, very learned scholar, someone who is very wise. Speaking like, है ना? He's not saying you are a very great learned person. You are speaking like very prajnavadam, very wise words. Why the wise words are coming out of your mouth? Then he says, Gata soon agata shumscha. So we have Ashocyan, Anvashochas, Gata soon agata shums. So Gata soon, what is Gata shuns? Gata shuns means when the life here is lost, and other Gata shuns mean not past. So what is this life here and what is Krishna wanted to say here? We'll understand through the commentaries of Acharyas. And he's saying, Nanu Shochita Panduta. The people who are Pandits, they don't lament in this way, in which way you are lamenting. Anyway, so first we'll read the purport of Srila Prabhupada, then we'll go to the commentary. Because the purport is very nice. So, wait a minute. There's the purport. Okay. So, anyway, Mika, would you like to read?
Okay, Prabhuji. The Lord at once took the position of a teacher and chastised the student, calling him indirectly a fool. The Lord said, You are talking like a learned man, but you do not know that one who is learned, one who knows what is body and what is soul, does not lament for any stage of the body, neither in the living nor in the dead condition. As explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Arjuna argued that the religious principle should be given more importance than politics or sociology, but he did not know that knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme is even more important than religious formularies. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself as a very learned man. As he did not happen to be a very learned man, he was consequently lamenting for something which was unworthy of lamentation. The body is born and is destined to be vanquished today or tomorrow. Therefore, the body is not as important as the soul. One who knows this is actually learned, and for him there is no cause for lamentation, regardless of the condition of the material body.
Thank you. So Krishna is indirectly calling Arjun a fool. Why indirectly? Because he's saying Pragyavadam Shabhashase. Oh, you're speaking such wise words. But the Panditas don't lament in the way you are lamenting. That means you are speaking as if you are a very wise person, but the Pandits don't do what you are doing. That means you are not a Pandit. That means you are a fool. So this is what Krishna is trying to say to Arjun. So this is the habit of spiritual masters. Sometimes they may chastise very directly. They'll immediately call rascal number one, just like Srila Prabhupada used to say. You are rascal number one, always trying to bring something new. For example, in Kirtans, so somewhere they heard some different kind of Kirtan when the disciples of Prabhupada, they were in Mayapur for the very first time. So as you know, we have so many up sampradayas also. Aul, Baul, Sakhi, Biki. Up sampradaya means which is against the rules and regulations of the Guru Shishya disciplic succession knowledge. So they heard some kind of mantra which is concocted. For example, I'll say maybe you have heard it in many temples. Jai Jai Radha Raman Hari Bol. Now this is actually a movie song as written by His Holiness Jayadeva Swami Maharaj in his book Kirtan Standards. So they were singing like that. Srila Prabhupada said, what is this nonsense? Where this mantra has come from? Although it has the name of a deity, very important deity of Vrindavan, Radharamanji, but the mantra, because it is not bona fide, that means it is not necessary that you have to chant. The name will definitely give you benefit, but what does an intelligent person will do? Someone who is initiated in a sampradaya, has taken diksha from a guru, has taken mantra from guru, and yet engaged in something which is concocted by someone else, which we don't even know who. At in what intentions that mantra was written, how he what he wanted to do, something like that. So in this way, the spiritual masters sometimes they chastise their disciples very directly also, and sometimes indirectly also, just like how Krishna is doing here. For example, Srila Prabhupada used to tease or chastise Purushottam Prabhu. If you have heard Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit or read by your own, then you must have heard that there was Apollo moon landing in the 1969 70s area era. So at that time, Prabhupada was saying landing on the moon is not possible in such a way because it is very far away from the earth. Second, you don't have the body which is compatible to the environment of the moon. For example, we are not compatible to live in water. So what we do, we take oxygen gas cylinders, so much of coverings, and then we go down. So it is artificial. But in land, naturally we breathe through our nostrils and we live. We don't need any artificial equipment or some machinery to survive. So that means to reach the moon and to stay there, you need some kind of body. For example, in water body, you have animals or creatures who are having bodies compatible to water. So Srila Prabhupada, even in fire, there are some entities who are having fiery bodies. Like in sun planet, Surya Dev is having fiery bodies. All his disciples and all the prajas there, they have fiery bodies. Similarly, in moon planet also, Som Dev is there, Chandrama, and then he has so beautiful kingdom there, but we are not able to see that. That's why Srila Prabhupada was chastising Purushottam Prabhu. So once Purushottam Prabhu was in the kitchen and trying to cook, then something happened, some disaster happened, and then his face was completely black because of that cooker. Something happened in that kitchen. So when Purushottam came out, so Srila Prabhupada saw him and said, "Oh, Purushottam must have gone to the moon." So he was just teasing like that. The spiritual master, they have. We cannot judge the spiritual master. There's some sweet exchanges. So once His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj also told that he was there when Srila Prabhupada said, "It is my duty to chastise you." It is the duty of a spiritual master to chastise his disciple because there is 100% chance of a disciple getting deviated. But a guru cannot deviate in such a way, one who is bona fide and very strong in his practices. So it is the duty because in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the teachings of King Rishabh Dev, he says, Mata na sasyat, Pita na sasyat, Guru na sasyat, Swajano na sasyat. That means na mochayate mrityum tarati. That means if you are not able to deliver those who are dependent on you, for example, a guru is having so many disciples who are dependent on him. But for what? To get delivered from this material world. Then don't become a guru if you can't do that. Don't marry if you cannot deliver your wife from this material world. Don't have children if you cannot deliver them from this material world. So Rishabh Dev is very strict about it. है ना? So these are very responsible. Brahmachari ashram is very responsible ashram. Grahastha ashram is very responsible ashram. Vanaprastha is also very responsible ashram. Sannyas ashram is also very responsible ashram. Just because you are bachelor doesn't mean you are brahmachari. है ना? Because you are not in ashram. You are just, Prabhupada used to say, don't become a single daddy. Anyway, so we'll not go into Varnashram that way. Just I'm telling that there's a behavior how spiritual master deals. So Krishna here is indirectly chastising Arjun. And he's saying that the Panditas, they don't lament for the body. When he says body, so there are two kinds of body, which we'll learn as we go further into the purport. So he says, now see, as explained in the later chapters, it will be clear that knowledge means to know matter, spirit, and the controller of both. What is this? This is actually Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 13. Whenever Srila Prabhupada is writing something, it is pointing to some kind of verse or commentary, purport of something. It is very bona fide purpose. But only those who have some harmonious knowledge about various scriptures can understand. So when I was reading this. So knowledge means jnanam. Knowledge means to know matter and spirit and the controller of both. Who is controller of both? That is Kshetrajna. So we'll get to know that in chapter number 13. Anyway, now Arjun is arguing that religious principles should be given more importance than politics and sociology. What is this? So religious principles means dharma shastras. More importance than politics or sociology is arthashastra. Now, if you remember in chapter number 1, Krishna gave a counter argument on Arthashastra, and Arjun gave an argument from Dharma Shastra. And there, in the purport of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhu, we heard that Dharma Shastras are above Arthashastra. Arthashastra, Dharma Shastra. But now, same thing, but because it is in English, so sometimes we forget where the Sanskrit word we have to fit in. But Prabhupada says that Arjun did not know the knowledge of matter, soul, and the supreme, which is even important than religious formalities. That means Jnana Shastra. The knowledge of matter, soul, and supreme is Jnana Shastra. So Artha Shastra, Dharma Shastra, Jnana Shastra. And because he was lacking in that knowledge, he should not have posed himself. Because in chapter number 1, Arjun kind of defeated the arguments of Krishna by giving a higher pramana. Krishna was saying Artha Shastra, Arjun said Dharma Shastra. But now Krishna took even a higher stand. He said, Jnana Shastra, now you are a fool. Okay? Then Srila Prabhupada is telling about how body is destined to vanquish today or tomorrow. See, these statements are very easy to read, very easy to hear, but to realize it will take like, I don't know, maybe many births. This body, the body which you are seeing, which you see in your mirror every day, or maybe in selfies, because today selfie is more prominent than mirror. So this body has to deteriorate. Everything which you see around, which is made up of matter, is destined to rot or deteriorate or get vanquished one day, today, tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, in some near future, a very distant future. But it will happen for sure. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says body is not as important as soul. Now, this statement, as important as soul, that means body is also important, but not when compared to the soul. That means our prime duty is to take care of ourself, that means the soul. Body comes secondary or tertiary. That's fine. So, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that he has lost many friends and even god brothers just because they took the statement, we are not this body, we are soul, very cheaply. Why? They did not wear seat belts or helmets. When they were in car, they were just, Arey, we are not this body, Baba. Body is not important. We are soul. We are not going to die. This body will die. But this is not the correct attitude. So Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj was making the statement. I don't know when he made that statement, but I somehow recalled it. So he was saying that he has lost many friends and god brothers also just because they were not wearing seat belts. So Maharaj actually gave an elaborate statement. He said, "We please try to memorize it. We are not this body. We are soul, but we are entrapped in this body." This is the second part which everyone misses. We are soul, but we are entrapped in this body. Why do we forget that? Then further the theory comes why we are entrapped. Okay, then what we have to make use of this body. Okay. Then Srila Prabhupada says, one who knows this is actually learned. That means one who understood the concept of body and soul can be called a Pandit. Now, casually in Bharatvarsha, in India, anyone who has like head shaven or has a shikha or wears some kind of tilak, wears dhoti kurta, or speaks little bit of Sanskrit. I'm not saying like very scholarly in Sanskrit, maybe little bit of Sanskrit. He is called Are Panditji, Panditji, Panditji. One who gets rituals done is also called Panditji, 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 Panditji. But Pandita is not such a cheap word that can be used for anyone. The one who gets marriage ceremonies or other rituals done is called Purohita. And in English, you called it as Ritvik. Ritvik means Purohit. There is no other meaning of this Ritik world. Anyway, so Pandit means one who is learned. But learned in what? So Srila Prabhupada gives a definition, one who knows the definition of body, soul, supreme, or maybe one who is sthit in Gyan, he's called Pandit, Gyani or Pandit. And then he says that the Pandit are having a behavior where they do not lament for the material body. This is the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Now we'll go to the purport of Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur. Amazing purport. Okay, this is the verse. He says, Bho Arjuna. Wait a minute. Something is wrong. भो अर्जुन तवायाम बंधुवद हेतुकः शोको धम मूलका एवः. That means saying, oh Arjun, what is happening? Bho Arjun means oh Arjun. He's saying you are lamenting because you have attachment to your relatives and friends. And this is the basic cause of bewilderment. If now taking this example of Arjun and fitting it in our lives, why we are bewildered? Because we have attachment to our family, relatives, maybe society, nation, world, attachment to objects, anything, any kind of attachment. Now, this looks a very harsh statement. Should not we be attached to our families? The answer is yes. But that attachment should be on a spiritual platform. Because if you just have a material attachment, definitely there will be so much conditioning and suffering where you would actually come to a stage. Many would have felt it also. Maybe you must have also felt it. I don't know. You will actually hate those people who are there in your life. But philosophically, you will like to say, no, 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 it is good to have attachment with them. But the material attachment will cause more pain and agony in the life. So it is better to have a spiritual attachment. I'll give you an example also. See, India and Pakistan are great enemies from, let's say, time immemorial. Because Pakistan was born in 14th August 1947, created like that. But before that, it's all Hindu-Muslim only. So they are very old enemies since the time this religion came, this fight only. But we have ISKCON temples both in India and Pakistan. Bangladesh, currently we have very bad relations. They have bad relations. We don't want to put any harm to them. But we have ISKCON in both the territories. Israel and Palestine, great enemies since the time they both came into existence, these faith structures. Still, you have ISKCON in Palestine also. Palestinian devotees, you have ISKCON in Israel also. Russia and Ukraine, you have ISKCON in Russia also and Ukraine also. Just take any two countries. Ultimately, you will find ISKCON is there. Devotees are there. Harmonized. How? We don't see harmony even in our personal lives, in our own family. But how is it possible that ISKCON is creating harmony in such disastrous situations where two countries are ready to just destroy each other? Somehow they are not using nuke, but they are very sure that they'll use nuclear weapons very soon. But why? Because of the spiritual connection, not of material attachment. Because if there would be material attachment, there would be fight. So like in foreign countries in US, you have a lot of controversies related to racism, right? Blacks and whites, like civil war was also done. So why this is happening? It is all because of material understanding only. But as soon as one has a spiritual attachment, then we saw in our own eyes, we are seeing every day. I'll just take a prime example. His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, who was apparently in black body from Africa, and His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, a white body, both were so good friends. Like I have so many good friends when I was in Nairobi. I made so many friends. So because we don't have any kind of material attachment, so you are black, we are not so black, they are white, we are samala, this kind of things. That's why there is no such agony and pain in the relationship. There is only bliss because of spiritual attachment. because you are also the son of Krishna. I am also the son of Krishna. We are brothers. And that's why there should be universal brotherhood. There is no universal brotherhood without having a common father. Srila Prabhupada said in United Nations, all they do is just increase the number of flags. Every year, if a country is having some kind of dispute, just divide the country, two more countries, one more new flag. Srila Prabhupada, the United States started with some, I don't know how many countries, maybe below 100 only. Now you have more than 200 countries. Just create new countries, have their own space. There is no study of harmonizing things. Just divide, 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 divide. So every year in United Nations, the flags are simply increasing. So here, Krishna is saying the root cause of your shoka is bandhu vadhetakaha, because you are very much worried that you will kill your friends and family members. And because of that, shoka brahma mulaka eva. That is why. And how then Krishna is giving the example also. In 2.4, in chapter 2, verse 4, he said, Katham Bhishmam Aham Sankhye. How would I be able to kill Bhishma and Drona? How can I fight with them? So he's saying that by saying ding iti adiko, by this, vivekascha prajna mulaka eveti ashochan iti adi. This statement of yours, see, when you have an argument or discussion, words matter a lot. Now, Krishna is hand picking the words which are used by Arjun. Because you cannot just contemplate, oh, maybe you said this. No, no, no. Whatever you said, word to word, Arjun said, oh, how can I fight with Bhishma, Drona, etc., etc. So Krishna is saying, by these statements, I can very easily tell that your discernment or the vivek, what is right and what is wrong, is lacking. That is the lack of your wisdom, which is stated in this. Okay. Then he says, Ashocyan, Tokanarhan, Eva, Twam, Anvashocho, Anushocitavanasi, तथा त्वां प्रबोधत्यम मां प्रति प्रज्ञावादां प्रज्ञायां सत्यमेव ये वादा कथम भीष्मम् अहं स्वज्ञ इति आदीन वाक्यानि तन् भाष्यसे न तु तव कापि प्रज्ञा वर्तते इति भावः. So he is saying that anushochah. Now this word anushochah, which you see here, right? Anushochah in the word. Let me show you this word. Anvashochas. So this is sandhi actually. Anu ashochas, so that U became va. There's a sandhi. So anushochas. Now the meaning of anu is nirantar. There are two meanings, many meanings of anu. So the two meanings which we know is anu means continuous and anu means anugat also. So here the anu means nirantar. That means continually. So Krishna is saying you are continuously lamenting. And for what? Which is not at all worthy of grief. And at the same time, what you are doing, prajnavadam pragnayam satyam eva ye vada. You are speaking as very words of wisdom to me, but actually I'm trying to enlighten you. In verse number 4 only, you tried to be very smart. Krishna is trying to say this. So the intention behind Lord's word is actually the opposite. When you say someone, oh, you are speaking very wise, but you are not wise. Actually, he means to say you are fool number one. So by this statement, Krishna is saying you are fool number one. That is now the spiritual master mood is there. Okay, going further. Yataha panditaha prajnavanto gatasun gata nisrita bhavantya savo yebyas tan sthula dehan na shochanti tesham nashwar bhavatvat iti bhavaha. Now we are going to enter into the uh, differentiation between subtle and gross body. Okay. Now Krishna is saying that those who are wise panditas, and I told you the definition of pandita from the purport of Srila Prabhupada. Keep that definition in mind, otherwise you will miss it. As I told you from chapter number 2, there would be philosophy. Chapter number 1, story, Mahabharata, all now over. Now we have to be very active, vigilant with Bhagavad Gita and notebook in hand. I hope you are all carrying that. Because when I marked you that statement that it is from chapter number 3, you should have marked it in your notebook somewhere. I don't personally mark in books. I keep my book as it is. but I do make notes in my copies, laptops, or whatever. So please do make notes. So he's saying that the wise or the panditas, they do not lament. But for what? They don't lament for gross bodies. Now, what is gross body? In chapter number 7, you will get to understand what is gross body and subtle body. So, gross body is comprising of five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Ether means space. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. This is gross body. Then what is subtle body? So this is soul. Now it has a covering of subtle body and a covering of gross body. So gross body once again, earth, water, air, fire, ether. Ether or space, whatever you like to say. Bhumi, Apo, Anal, Vayu, Kham. Then subtle body comes Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara. That is mind, intelligence, and ego. This comprises the subtle body. So Krishna is saying that the Panditas or learned people, they do not lament for which body? Gross body. Because what happens in gross body? Gata asun. Gata asun means Gata asun. The life air it passes. What is life air? Now we have five kinds of air as per Patanjali. So you have Pran, Apan, Udan, Saman, Vayan. Oh, what are these Vayus? Just forget it. Just say Pran Vayu. Just take here Pran Vayu. Pran itself means life. In English, it is called life air. The soul is having an attribute called consciousness. For example, soul is here in near to the heart region. Near to the heart region. Hridesha Arjuna. It will come in chapter number 18. Anyway, but let me tell you in advance, the soul, it resides near to the heart region, not exactly inside the heart. Hrideshe. Hrideshe. That means where the heart resides, somewhere here. Where exactly you cannot pinpoint. It is very small. So Hrideshe. So soul is residing here, but such a small soul. And what is the dimension of the soul? It is mentioned kleshagraha shatabhagasya shatadha kalpita. That means you take a kesh. Kesh means a strand of hair, and keshagraha. Agra means at the very tip. So you take the tip of the hair. Now hair is already very like thin, and the tip is very very small, very subtle, very soft. And not soft, very small. It's
Hmm.
like just a point. And then what do you have to do? Shatabhagasya. You divide it by 100. Then shatadha. Again you divide it by 100. So how much you'll get? 10,000. So
Yeah.
the strand of hair, the tip of hair divided into 10,000. That could be an explanation to the size of soul. So it is not that this is the exact size of soul. This is some kind of upama to tell that it is very, 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 very subtle. You cannot see it by your naked eyes. This charma chakshu, by these eyes, you cannot see it. Even by many instruments, also, you cannot see it. So the idea is that the soul is very small. Still, that's very small soul in dimension is able to control such a big body. So again, please try to memorize this analogy. Have you seen a big Boeing plane, 747? Like it has so many levels, more than 500 passengers are there. But the pilot, what is his size? Very small in front of that big plane. There is one military aircraft which is called Hercules. I forgot the full name of that plane, but that plane is very big and it can carry so many tanks, regiments, and so many soldiers, cargo, military cargo, obviously. But that is driven by four or five pilots, which are very small in compared to that big body. You know, the car is so big, the driver is so small. The train is so big, the driver is so small. The body is so big, the soul is so small. But how is it happening? It is happening by the consciousness. So the consciousness is spread across the body, but the soul is here, like a driver, which is operating the whole body. As soon as consciousness leaves, so how consciousness leaves from this body? Along with soul and subtle body and the life air, it passes away from this body. So we have 9 holes in this body: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so you have 9 holes. From one of these holes, your life air, along with your subtle body, soul, they all pass away. And what is left? This uh, body, gross body made up of 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether. So gata soon, this word is very important actually. So when life here passes from this body, so this body will be like destroyed very soon. As I told you, it is the nature that it has to vanquish today or tomorrow, day after tomorrow, in near future or distant future. It has to vanquish, it has to disappear, it has to rot. So the Pandit do not lament for this gross body, because bodies are destructible by nature. Okay, this is what he's trying to say. या पंडिता प्रज्ञावादो गतासून गता निःसृत भवन्ति असवो. They do not lament. ये बस्तन स्थूल देहा न शोचन्ति तेषाम नाश्वर भवतारिति वा. They are nashwar. They are definitely what? They are destructible in nature. Then what else he says? Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, अगतासून अनिःसृत प्राणान् सूक्ष्म देहान् अपि न शोचन्ति ते हि मुक्तेः पूर्वं नश्वरेव उभयेषामपि तथा तथा स्वभावस्य दुष्परिहरत्वात्. So he's saying even the panditas, they don't lament for subtle body also. Now in subtle body the life airs are not passed. So gata soon is for gross body, agata soon is for subtle body. Okay, so what happens is the life airs, they go with the subtle body after death, and they enter into a new body with the subtle body at the time of birth. So gatasun means the body where the life air has passed, and agatasun means the body where life air has not passed. So panditas or the learned people, they don't lament for both subtle body and gross body. Why? Because when you achieve liberation, then the subtle body also gets destroyed. Okay, so a pandit who is learned, who knows the difference between matter, soul, and who is supreme, or some conception of supreme in the form of maybe nirakar or sakar, that we will not go into that right now. We'll go into that in chapter number 12. Note that. So when the gross body is supposed to vanquish, even the subtle body is supposed to vanquish in near future, in very distant future or near future, depending upon how you achieve liberation very soon. So why to lament? Because you know that it is going to be destroyed very soon. You are permanent, but both the bodies, subtle and gross, both are non-permanent. So why a permanent personality be attached to such temporary things? The problem is not with the body. The problem is with the attachment of the body. There is no problem with the body. The problem is the attachment of permanent to non-permanent things. Now, Srila Prabhupada gives a very nice example of a boss. Now, what kind of boss? He's saying that as living entities, we have a natural tendency to serve. But serve who? Someone superior. Now, in conditioned state, we take our senses to be superior than us. Whatever senses demand, we immediately want that. The tongue wants something palatable to eat, we immediately go to the market, use whatever fast delivery apps and get that delivered immediately. McDonald's, Domino's, whatever. All junkies. So whatever the tongue demands, we try to fulfill it. So we are the servant of this tongue actually. It is not that we are master of anything. We are servant of all. But the problem is the senses are temporary. For example, when you grow old, what will happen? The senses will become dull. But the desire to enjoy senses will be active. It's a very dangerous position. So there is one story, Akbar Birbal, you must have heard. So Akbar gave a proposition or a statement, imperative statement, that when someone becomes old, because the indriyas, the senses are very dull, so the requirement or the desire to enjoy also goes away. Now, Birbal denied the statement. He said, no, if the mind is not controlled from the start, even if a person grows old and his senses are very dull, they're not able to eat, teeth are gone, tongue is having no more taste, they're not able to see very near, 20/20 vision is also gone, bones are shaking, body is shaking, and not able to hear properly, not able to even smell properly. Still, the desire to enjoy the senses will keep on increasing if they have not controlled their mind from the very start. This is what Birbal said. Akbar said, no, 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 you are idiot, you don't know. I know in old age, people, I have seen people stop doing so many things which they used to do in young life. So Birbal said, okay, fine. Because idiots are those who don't understand by hearing, but they have to see some kind of experiment. So there was an old man who was about to die, and he was somewhat related to the palace. So Birbal called Akbar, you have to come here and see, but you have to come along with your young daughter also. So Akbar came along with his beautiful daughter, and that old man who was just about to die was seeing the young daughter of Akbar in lusty way. And when Akbar saw that he at the time of death he is not looking at his relatives or to me who is king who has personally come here to help him, but he's looking at my daughter who is beautiful. So very soon Akbar was about to lose his temper, so Birbal intervened and said, okay Maharaj, ho gaya hamara kaam ho gaya, lesson is learned. So even if you are old, even the senses are dull, the demand for senses don't go back. Why? Because at the right moment, right time, the senses were not controlled. It's a big issue. So here, Krishna is trying to say, or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is trying to open the heart of Krishna, that the Pandit don't lament for gross and subtle body. Why? Gross body is destined to destroy when when gata soon the life here passes away and goes into the other body during the transmigration process. Okay, when the soul changes the body. And the Panditas don't lament for subtle body also. Why? Because agata soon. Although the life here does not passes from this subtle body, but the body gets destroyed when soul escapes this material world, when it achieves liberation. During mukti or bhakti, this subtle body is no longer required. So that is why they do not lament for both subtle and gross bodies. What else he says? Okay, my screen sharing has stopped. Oh, sorry. Why I try to show you the exact commentary, although my face is very small at the right side of your screen, the commentary is so big. Because this is the Praman. We should see that I'm not speaking anything out of my mind. I'm just trying to follow the Guru Janas. And these words of Acharyas will give you bhakti, not my words. If I repeat, I'll be benefit, you will be benefit. That is why I show the commentary right away. So agata soon ahnishat pranam sukma dhyana abhinavshatanti nahi mukta purvam tehi mukta purvam nashwar. Before mukti, that is also nashwar. Ubhay esham api tatha tatha swabhavasya dushparihata. So subtle and gross body, no panditas are not attached to that. But what happens? Murkhastu pirtiradi dehabhya praneshu nishriteshu eva shochanti. Shukshma deham stunate praya parichinvati atastair alam. Or now what Krishna is saying, he's saying that only fools lament when life air process from gross body. And he's particularly saying gross bodies of father, relatives, and others who are related to us. Because they don't understand the concept of subtle body. Because in India, the concept of theism is prominent. Even in India, the atheists are also theists, just covered in some kind of ignorance or hate. Inside, they believe in God, but externally, they'll just show they don't believe in God. Maybe because of some kind of fashion, curiosity, or they are not happy with the decisions made by Krishna because they liked something. They'll maybe like the girlfriend and she left him, so he's unhappy with the Lord. Something. So there can be many reasons. But at least when someone loses a body, and if you ask them, "Kya hua?" So they'll say, "Chale gaye." Chale gaye. They went, they left us. How can they left us? They are right here, lying here. The body is rotting anyway. But I am saying the body. They're saying वो तो यहीं पर है. He's right here in front of you. Say no, no, no. वो चले गए, वो चले गए. They left us. Who left? The soul left. The life air left, and the body is here. But fools only lament when they are not able to understand this because they don't understand subtle body. Then Krishna says a very hard statement. He says, Alam, where that word? एते ही सर्व भीष्मादेह स्थूल सूक्ष्म देह सहित आत्मना एव आत्मनां तु नित्यावता तेषु शोक प्रवृत्तिरेव न स्थितिः अतस्त्य यत् पूर्वम् अर्थशास्त्रात् धर्मशास्त्रात् बलवत् इति उक्तं तत्र मया तु धर्मशास्त्रमपि ज्ञानशास्त्र बलवत् उच्यते इति भावः. So what I told you from the commentary of Srila Prabhupada, exactly same thing. So what he is saying is, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that he is saying enough of such fools. Now Krishna, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has a way to write a commentary. So he says enough. Forget about these fools. All those like Bhishma and all the people who are standing here, they are equipped with gross and subtle bodies, right or wrong? Yes, right. But because the soul is eternal in nature, so why to lament? Then Krishna is saying, previously you said that Dharma Shastra is stronger than Artha Shastra. Now I am quoting Jnana Shastra, which is stronger than Dharma Shastra. So don't try to be smart and try to cut my statements now. I am now speaking something which is way higher. So this is what Arjun is trying to say. Krishna is trying to say to Arjun. Now the moment of some teaching, because we are going to discuss this one verse only. The commentary is over. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhu is also writing similar thing. So going further, I will not be reading both of the commentaries of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Baldev Vidyabhushan, only when necessary. Why? Because every Acharya has some kind of mood in explaining that verse. If the mood is similar, then I'm not reading the other commentary as well. And even if the mood is different, they are explaining the verse in certain context. For example, there will be verse coming where Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur would be explaining Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, and Sharanagati levels. But Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhu would be explaining Bhakti, Gyan, and something else in that same commentary. So if we take both the commentaries, then we won't be able to understand what is the actual narration going on. So we'll keep the commentary of Srila Prabhupada as a base, and most probably we'll be reading the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur just as we did today. Okay. Now the moment of teaching. If someone from our family, friends passes away, should we lament? Because Krishna is saying those who are pandits, they don't lament. Now I'll give you another example. The forum is open. Main class is over. Okay. So when Srila Pankajangri Prabhu left his body in Corona time, and Srila Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj also left his body, many great stalwarts, proper disciples, grand disciples left their body. At that moment, even my Guru Maharaj also left recently. So should we lament? There is one case of devotees, those who are our well-wishers, Guru Janas, maybe those who are equals. I lost few equals also, some juniors also. Anyway, so would I have lamented? Case number 2. What about our relatives and family members if they pass away? Should we lament? It's a very big question. So I'm opening the forum to everyone. Please think about it for at least 30 seconds. Now the case number 1 is very easy to answer because somehow or other we are practicing bhakti, to the process of bhakti at least. So we know that if spiritual master leaves us, so yes, we have to lament because now his Vapu Sangha is gone. We no longer would be able to massage his body. We no longer would be able to wash his clothes. We no longer would be able to see him personally present in front of us, like we see each other, deal with each other. And now what is left of him is just the beautiful memories of the disciple with the spiritual master, his instructions to him personally and to others, nothing else. So yes, one should lament But what about our friends, families, and relatives? Should one lament or not? So, although the forum is open, the time is less, so better I only give the answer. Anyway, so the main purport of Srila Prabhupada, which I'm going to show once again, please see it very carefully. What does Krishna speaks here? No, no, not Srila Prabhupada. The Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Na? Yes, I'll show you the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. One moment. What does he speaks? The cause of lamentation of Arjun was because of material attachment. That means, as for example, if I take my example, as Shant Gopinath Das, who is a brahmachari at ISKCON Dwarka, if someone from my family, relatives, or friends loses his body, which is definitely going to happen in near future, very dangerous times to cope up with our mind in that moment. See, reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding the philosophy, teaching others, it is all okay. What about the implementation? So I'm speaking about implementation. We are supposed to lament. Yes, we should cry. There was one person who wanted to join full time in the movement of Srila Prabhupada. And do you know what the reason he gave? He said, when my wife died, not even a single tear came out from my eyes. Srila Prabhupada said, you have a stone heart. With that stone heart, how can you cry for Krishna even if you cannot cry for your departed wife? Great statement coming from Srila Prabhupada. There were many followers of Srila Prabhupada who were not his disciples. But when something happened to them, Srila Prabhupada cried for them. I know there were many accidents in east of Kailash temple and in there was one accident in New York. The bus party, their bus, it got toppled in the highway. And my Guru Maharaj was crying for the devotees as well as for the driver who got hurt. I was right there in front of me. He didn't want to show his emotions as spiritual master, but it was very evident. Sometimes emotions overpower you. No, these are not material emotions. As a genuine, caring father of those disciples, he was crying. Why? Because those disciples were actually engaging their body, their prana for his satisfaction. Who is who has given the instructions to those disciples for the pleasure of his spiritual master Srila Prabhupada? That is why those emotions came out. But why the driver? So in Chaitanya Charitamrita or in other teachings of Mahaprabhu and Acharyas, you see Name Ruchi, Vaishnav Seva, and Jiva Daya. So this is Jiva Daya, mercy towards living entities. Now imagine a person standing in front of you and you decided this person is so nice, he should do bhakti. And next day you get to know that he left his body. Will you be sad or not? Yes. The opportunity to practice bhakti went away because this body is sadhana to practice bhakti or a medium to practice bhakti. This body is not the problem. The problem is material attachment to this body. Was Srila Prabhupada taking oil massage or not? Yes. Was he doing morning walk? Yes. Was he taking Ayurvedic medicines? Yes. When the first heart stroke came, did he go to the hospital? Yes. Although he was saying that don't take me to hospital, but that was needed at that time. Same behavior we have to follow. If something happens to the body, just try to take care of it. We are eternal spirit souls, but we are trapped in this body. This body, this belongs to my Guru. This body belongs to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sanatan Goswami tried to commit suicide. Mahaprabhu said, no, this body belongs to your spiritual master, me. Don't try to commit suicide. So whatever we have in our possession, it should be used. So if someone from our family, friends They leave us. At that moment, we should lament. For what? Because we had some bodily attachment? No, because the opportunity to do bhakti went away. They could have done more. I could have done more for them. But because of some my own conceptions, because of material attachment, because of some quarrel between friends, families, husband and wife, son and father, mother and daughter, something, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, something. Because of those very foolish fights, the main purpose of practicing bhakti together went away. Now it is very hard. See, as a brahmachari, I am speaking this. Now, those who are householders here, I know it is very difficult to implement. But at least from the perspective of my family, for my father, mother, my brother and sister, and their in-laws, I do try my best so that they do bhakti. And if they don't, I feel very bad for them. So this should be the feeling you should have with your relatives, friends, and others. The reason why I don't change my personal mobile number is that maybe someone from my school days or college days, they might contact, because I try to speak to them, although I'm very introvert by nature. So if I say something to them, maybe they'll come into bhakti. Recently, I was thinking about my friend who had birthday on 23rd of May. So I don't want to celebrate my birthday even in school because of certain reasons. I will not share that. So I faked my birthday. So he was having birthday on 23rd May because he was my good friend. So I practically placed my birthday on 26th May. So I wanted to be younger to him also and good friend. Yes, yes. I faked my birthday. So on 23rd of May, this 23rd of May, I was just thinking about him because he went to very harsh reality of life for the past 6 years. I don't know, breaking all regulatory principles and whatnot. But I was thinking about him. I wanted to help him, but I was very much tied because the receiving end was not so compatible. But still, I prayed. So we should have such kind of spiritual emotions that should come not from mind. Don't think from mind. It should come from heart. And it will only come from heart when we have some kind of spiritual practices which are practiced personally every day. And what we are supposed to do as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we have to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Already we are past 9, but I'll take just one more minute. If we are not chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra attentively, seriously, sincerely, especially in the morning, with not an achiever mode that I have to complete 16 rounds and the happiness of pulling the Sakshi bead. 1, 2, 3, 16 done. No achiever mentality. In that moment only, we'll be able to actually pray from the heart. There is no better prayer than Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This knowledge which I am trying to give from Bhagavad Gita, it will be useless if we are not chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly. This will be just information. Where will be the realization aspect? So that is why it is my humble request to everyone. Please chant your japa very seriously. I am also not very good at japa. So I seek the prayers of all those people who are here also, and all those people who will hear this in future. Maybe I'll not be available at that time. YouTube might be there if there is no word war. So maybe they can pray for me also. This life, next life, how many lives I don't know. So that I could also chant at least one Hare Krishna Mahamantra properly for the pleasure of Krishna. So that should be the mood. Have spiritual emotions. This material emotions are not going to help you for a very long time. Material solutions are not going to help you for a very long time. It would be some kind of like patchwork, not be permanent solution. So have spiritual solutions, have friendships, spiritual friendships, have friendship of Hari Katha, but don't have friendship of Tom and Jerry. It's not worthy. Okay. So similarly, Krishna is placing the root cause of distress is material attachment towards family, friends, relatives, etc. Otherwise, they did so much wrong to the Pandavas. When we heard the definition of Atatai, 6 kinds of aggressor, giving poison, looting their wealth, harassing their wife, and all those 6 were done by Kauravas to against Pandavas. Still, Arjun has having some certain kind of compassion. Srila Prabhupada writes in chapter number 1, why he is having compassion? Because he is a devotee. But here Krishna is trying to cut, like discern, like has is trying to give some kind of discrimination that you should have material emotions set aside and have spiritual attachments, spiritual emotions, because we all are part and parcel of Krishna. No need to fight with each other just because he said something and you did not like it. Ei bhalo, ei manda, ei manodharma. Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is nice, this is bad. This is all because of mind. One thing which is nice right now can be very bad later. That will hear in the upcoming verse. Tam Tidikshvasa Bharata. Okay. So humble request to all of you to please chant your rounds. Maybe some of you might not be chanting 16 rounds. If you're chanting one round, two round, four round, doesn't matter. Please chant it by heart. This is your personal time with Krishna. The holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra is non-different from Krishna. Now, if I ask, do you all want personal time with Krishna? Everyone will say yes. But that time is your chanting only. The chanting has become so pathetic. Left hand mobile or maybe TV is going on and we are chanting, we are not trying to listen. The basic principle is chant near Tulsi Maharani, very close to Tulsi Maharani, not that Tulsi Maharani is 20 feet away or maybe in some garden you are looking from balcony. What kind of association is it? Tulsi Maharani is very dear to Krishna. She is Vrinda Devi. The management part is taken care by Vrinda Devi. So when you chant, be near to Tulsi Maharani in a submissive mood. Whatever you chant, try to hear. The more you are close to Tulsi Maharani, you will hear automatically. There is something mystical science with this. I've tried it myself. You also try. Okay. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Over to you, Amit Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful session, and especially that lamentation part. So between the comparison between lamentation between the spiritual and material. Yeah, so it was a very good session, Prabhu. Do you have few minutes for taking few questions, Prabhu?
I'm okay.
Okay, dear devotees, if anybody has any question or any realization, please raise your hand. And Anshuman Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु
Pranam.
प्रभु जी एक्चुअली जो मतलब आपने स्टार्टिंग में जो बताया ना कि मटेरियल अटैचमेंट स्पिरिचुअल अटैचमेंट को लेके, तो प्रभु जी वो थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आया कि मतलब जो कंट्रीज के बिटवीन जो है ना, जो आपने बोला कि पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश को लेके या जो इसराइल और सबका लेके, तो वो आपने बताया प्रभु जी स्पिरिचुअल अटैचमेंट उनके अंदर है, तो इसलिए दे आर नॉट फाइटिंग एंड यूजिंग द न्यूक्स। तो प्रभु जी वो थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आया, मतलब उसको थोड़ा क्लियरली बताएंगे।
Okay, one simple example. If a devotee from ISKCON Karachi, which is in Pakistan, comes to Bhubaneswar in ISKCON Bhubaneswar temple and you are there, so would you not pay obeisances to him just because he is a Muslim practicing in Pakistan?
नो प्रभु, आई विल पे ओबेसेंस टू।
Will you dance with him in Kirtan?
यस प्रभु।
Will you serve him prasad?
यस प्रभु।
Why? Because there is spiritual attachment. There is connection of spiritual.
यस।
As soon as you bring Pakistan, Karachi, Muslim, and other material designations, then there will be problem. Very simple example. The devotee in
प्रभु जी
Ukraine is not seeing the devotee in Russia that he is a Russian devotee. He just says he is devotee of Krishna in Russia. Okay.
प्रभु जी बट वो तो बस इस्कॉन में पॉसिबल हो पा रहा है ना, मतलब एक्चुअली अगर देखा जाए तो दोनों कंट्रीज
It
में
is
बहुत
being
सारी मतलब
possible in ISKCON. Why? Because we are preaching this. That is the basic standard of Jnana Yoga, which is being told by Srila Prabhupada. This is basic understanding. Why hate someone because just they are having a different body? Because they appeared in certain place, we should hate them. Because of certain circumstances, they have certain kind of ideologies. And we have to be careful of that ideology also, because they want to kill us. But hate is tamoguna. Being vigilant, being strict, being smart is satoguna. But hate is tamoguna. to keep yourself safe from dangers is Satagun. But just in the name of keeping yourself safe, you are hating someone is Tamogun. You don't hate. Ras Khan is such an amazing devotee, born in a Muslim family. So you'll hate Haridas Thakur? Practicing devotee, no need to hate. Just don't hate. Simple. Okay. Okay. One question
प्रभु जी
from.
एक्चुअली प्रभु जी उसी के रिगार्डिंग तब देखा जाए तो अर्जुन का जो भी अटैचमेंट था मतलब फॉर अपोजिट पार्टी तो वो स्पिरिचुअल अटैचमेंट में काउंट होता है या मेटेरियल अटैचमेंट में काउंट होता है?
See, I told you in chapter number 1 that Krishna is making Arjun as an instrument to teach us. So Arjun is an elevated devotee already Nitya Siddha in Sakhya Ras with Krishna. Okay. But currently, by the will of Krishna, Arjun is behaving on a material platform. So currently, he is showing symptoms of material attachment. Take it in this way.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Mihika.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much for such a good explanation on 2.11. So, Prabhuji, my question is that like how you were talking about like the soul and then the body part of it. So why is it like we know okay we're the soul and we're not the body, but then how like even after that, how can we actually accept that like truly like okay it's for name, we have it there. It's like okay we're the soul, we're not the body, but then we never actually personally accept that. So how do you actually understand that?
Okay. So the main reason is because the knowledge of spirituality is not acquired, it is revealed. So, to understand that we are not this body, but an eternal spiritual spark or part and parcel of Krishna, an eternal soul, it is revealed, and it is revealed by Guru mercy, by mercy of Krishna. So, it is not something which we just read and immediately we'll get realization. It will take a lot of time, endeavors, just to understand this simple point that we are not this body. Okay, so have you played this game, charades?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so I don't know. Are you comfortable in opening camera? I don't know.
Okay,
Okay,
Prabhuji.
thank you. So I'm going to give you a line to imitate. I don't know how good you are in acting, but you just try it out. And everyone, please be focused. So okay, so Mihika. So I gave you a statement personally in chat. Just try to act this word by word. Okay, first word. Very nice. Second word. Okay, second is difficult. Third and fourth. Okay. So the statement is I can see you, right?
Yes,
Now
Prabhuji.
how did you act I?
Like point at myself.
Bare self. Do you remember? It is being recorded, so you can watch again. You did this. Now why you did this? Why not this? Or this or this or this or this? Somewhere here. Somewhere here. I. Why here? Soul is here. Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati. This is so natural. Everyone, we will all act in same way. Now, when you say, hey, do you know me? Why here? Why not do you know me? You know me. It's very natural. We are here, right here, near to the heart region. That is why we are pointing at this space. Now, this is also some realization which I tried to give you. But to implement and to understand it wholeheartedly will be revealed by the two personalities which are there in your wallpaper behind. You see? Radha Madhava of Mayapur. So this is what. So it is revealed knowledge, and I'll tell you there is a sutra how a knowledge is received. So just give me 30 seconds. I'm sorry, it's 9:15 already. But how to understand a shloka? How to understand this? So this is from Shubhashadani. One moment. Hmm. कालेन पादं लभते तथार्थं ततश्च पादं गुरुयोगतश्च उत्साहयोगेन च पादमृच्छे शास्त्रेण पादं च ततोऽभियाति. So शास्त्रेण पादं च ततोऽभियाति. A verse is understood in four parts: 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. So how to understand? A sincere student, he attains the 25% by staying with the guru. Okay, guru yogadascha. By staying with the guru, serving him, and the guru will impart the instruction. That is only 25%. The next 25% is the utsaha yogena. How much enthusiastic the student is to learn that verse and practice that verse. That is another 25%. So 25% from guru, 25% your own endeavor. And then shastrena padam. That means that verse you have to discuss with other students. So another 25%. So how much now, Mika? 25, 25, 25. How much it is?
75.
75%, right? The remaining 25% will come by time. That is by will of Krishna. Okay. So to understand that you are not this body, you are soul, 25% by the guru who will teach you, 25% your own endeavors, your enthusiasm, 25% if after class we are going to discuss it with your like-minded students or devotees, then 25%, 75%, 25% by the passage of time only it will be revealed. Okay. So I gave you two proofs.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Now this logic works in every knowledge of spirituality, not just this one. Okay.
Any other devotees? Do you have any other questions or realizations?
All silent today.
So, Prabhu, on the last point, I have very quick note. So, when we are discussing about lamentation, right? So, you told us about spiritual and material. So, first, very good example you gave that Guru Maharaj or any other devotee they passed away, and we definitely lamented, right? But in case of material like friends, relatives, close, near ones, dear ones, so when you say that we should not means it is a natural process that we will lament, right? It is not like that we are humans and it is natural. So then, what is the difference between these two? In both cases, we are lamenting.
Just remember the line which I said that lamentation should have spiritual emotions. That although maybe that person you gave some opportunity to do bhakti, right? Or maybe you were not at all able to give him any opportunity to do bhakti. So in both cases, it is cause of lamentation that oh, they have lost the chance to practice Krishna bhakti, to taste the beauty of Krishna. For example, when you see the deities, it is so beautiful. Krishna is so beautiful. That realization is not being imparted to that personality who left. So this should be the cause of lamentation. Oh, they left.
But Prabhu,
And this
reality,
is
in reality, if somebody left out, okay, in my family, maybe my bhua left out some time ago. So in that case, it never come in our mind that oh इन्होंने ये नहीं किया उन्होंने वो नहीं किया. उस टाइम आपको ग्रीफ रहता है कि हाँ अरे यार बुआ के साथ इतना टाइम स्पेंड किया, शी लेफ्ट द बॉडी और अब उनको देखने को नहीं मिलेगा. तो एक वो एक मतलब आपने प्रैक्टिकली सही बोला कि हाँ भाई ऐसा होना चाहिए, बट मींस थ्योरेटिकली सही बोला, बट प्रैक्टिकली इज इट लाइक इट इज लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट टू
very
अटेन दैट.
difficult. Very, very
At that
difficult.
time you are not in a condition that you will think about this one.
Definitely. You know why? Because our practices of bhakti are very weak.
Very weak, yeah.
This is the only reason.
Okay.
That is why I said, whatever wisdom, whatever information you are getting in this class or by reading Bhagavad Gita personally or from other speakers you hear, how it will be like digested by your consciousness only when you have chanted your rounds very attentively, sincerely. Then you'll get that potency. Then whatever service you do, it will become devotional service.
Okay.
So at that moment, it will be very difficult.
Yes.
Hello?
Okay. So I think Hemu Mataji, do you have any question?
Yeah, she raised hand.
Yes, Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam, as usual. Fantastic lecture. I just cannot stay away from your lecture.
I'm happy to have you as my mother.
I'm very happy to have you giving this lecture. It's really fantastic. I do remember, I just didn't get a chance to answer. I do remember you saying that you should be crying when someone passes away, and you should only cry for like 12 days. And after that, you should cry 4 days. Oh, is it 4 days? Oh, okay. Well, I got something wrong. Anyway, okay. And you said after that, you cry for Krishna, not for
Yes,
the soul. But then,
yes,
if you do cry for the soul after that, they drink, your tears become mucus. But
yes.
why is Krishna
Okay,
making the soul that passed away have drink
I'll
the
tell you.
mucus?
See, the scripture, I remember this. I told that in Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya class, right? So I told in Garud Puran, it is mentioned, I heard it from His Grace Amoglila Prabhu, that if someone passes away, now please hear very carefully, everyone, those who haven't heard this, maybe Mata, because you come in Nityam Bhagavad Seva class, and you have very sharp memory. Thank you. So when someone passes away, you have the right to cry for them, but only for 4 days. Why? Because after the fifth day, each drop becomes mucus for them to savor. Now, the question which you asked is why such a rule is there? Because people are having no information of regulations. Now, imagine if someone leaves you and you are crying whole life for that person, then what you are actually doing? You are actually causing problem for yourself also and for that person also. So such statements are there in scriptures to wake you up from that slumber, that don't stay in that position for a very long time. Understand that this has happened for certain reason, because the body is supposed to vanquish today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, as per Srila Prabhupada. As material nature works in that way. So to not become depressed, not become completely in the chamber of lamentation, full of grief, and never coming out of it, that is worse than being in narc. It is
Mm,
better to cry for them, have some emotions, cry for them spiritually later on, cry for Krishna that you could not able to associate with them, do bhakti with them, or maybe read Krishna book together. It can be any emotions, spiritual emotions with that. But after 4 days, don't cry. So the scriptures, they work in such a way to make sure anyhow you are elevated. Another reason which we recently have class of Puranjan, if you remember. So why the scriptures allow meat eating? Because there are certain people who cannot live without meat eating. Take another example. There is a person who is smoking 20 cigarettes a day. Now, if the doctor says, no, no, cigarette is very harmful, don't, from tomorrow, no more cigarettes, he'll leave the doctor. What would the doctor say? Okay, from tomorrow, 15 cigarettes. There are a person who is drinking 15, he'll say, okay, from tomorrow, 10. Then slowly, slowly, after 2 months, 5, 2, 3. And the one who is drinking one cigarette per day, he'll say, okay, do not drink cigarette at all. Maybe one cigarette per week. And if someone is drinking one cigarette per week, he'll say, just leave it. It's not good for you. So the instructions are meant as per the receiver's end. So Garud Puran, that special instruction is meant for those people who are very tamasic and who do not know when to get out of a certain lamentation period. So it is just to give a wake up call. Oh, no, 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 because of my action, the person whom I loved went away. So he'll having some kind of trouble. So, okay, I'll not cry for him. So it's just a wake up call. Okay,
mm.
just every statement of scripture is just to elevate someone. It may not be for me, definitely, but someone. Okay.
Yes, one more question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Manaji.
It's I'm trying to detach from certain relatives, but
Okay.
it's I'm just having a very tough time. I'm not able to do it, and I want to do it, and I'm so desperate to do it, but I'm not able. How can I do that? How can I detach?
So you want a sutra, sex secret sutra?
Yes.
Do not get detached from those relatives. use that energy which you are applying to get detached from those people. Use that energy to get attached to Krishna. Rest, everything will happen automatically. Now, this is not just a statement, it is proof. Janyatyasu vairagyam jnanam cha yad ahaitukam. One who does bhakti of Adhokshaj or Shri Krishna, Gyan or Vairagya automatically comes. So this Vairagya will automatically come. You don't even have to practice a lot. You have to practice somewhat, obviously, but be dependent more on the bhakti process. Be dependent on Bhakti Maharani more. Okay?
Yes, yes. Thank you
So you
very
don't have
much.
any kind of negativity also in that process. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you. Good questions. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, I think it's like 11 o'clock here also. So we will wrap up the
Sorry.
call. It's 9:30 for you also. No, it's a late time. It is our daytime, so it's fine for us. So
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Prabhuji, for the another wonderful session. If you give the permission, shall we wrap up the call?
Sure. Go ahead. Thank you.
वांछा कल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिंधु वैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हिज कृष्णांत गोपीनाथ प्रभु की जय। सभी भक्तजन की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please
हरे
revise.
कृष्ण।
Please make notes.
And good chanting.
Good chanting. Never miss that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.